The Supreme Court today deferred hearing on the pharma pricing policy matter, but petitioners in the case have filed a fresh plea slamming the new pricing policy approved by the government. They allege the policy is flawed and will result in steep drug prices. Devdatta Das now joins us with more details on that. Devdatta, good to have you on the show. On what basis, first of all, are the petitioners finding fault with the government's pharma pricing policy, and what is the industry saying in its defense?
Well, the petitioners clearly think that there are a lot of flaws and loopholes that can be flouted by the drug industry for their own advantage, so much so that they can get 2,000 percentage profit points out of this entire policy once it is put into play. What they say is, according to the petition that they've submitted in the Supreme Court, they say that the policy leaves behind the therapeutic family of drugs that have been put under government's control, government's pricing mechanism control, which means that generic drugs with similar effects but not the same name can be used and marketed at a much higher cost, at a much greater profitability for drug companies, barring the ones that are already in the government's drug mechanism control. Now this is one big loophole they have suggested, and they have also suggested that the pricing mechanisms should be cost-based price and not based on simple average. But at the same time, the industry has said that getting it to cost-based price will result in huge losses. Forget about making any profits at all, whereas the newly approved policy that the government has come up with, which is based on simple average price, will see that their profits of all of these companies come down by at least 1/4. So while they're willing to take that 1/4 percentage of hit on their margins, they're not willing to go into complete losses. They say they're running businesses, and it will be completely unrealistic to go into losses simply so that drugs can be sent to the common man. The government also has a part to play, and the drug industry themselves cannot do it all by themselves. Let's listen into what S. Srinivasan had to say. He is one of the petitioners from All India Drug Action Network.
See, we believe that any kind of pricing policy, the ceiling price has to have some relation to the cost of production. Now, any policy which does not have any relation to the cost of production is your guess and my guess. That is why the government was actually fishing around. First, weighted average policy of top 3, weighted average policy of this, then 1% market share weighted average, and then now they come out with simple average. It is just like fighting in the dark, because they don't know. They're avoiding the question, what should be the correct price, what should be the decent margin for pharmaceutical products, etc.